Hi, I'm David with EV World News, where we talk about electric vehicles, green energy, and the stock markets. And I'm back today with our founder and chief editor, Bill Moore. How's it going today, Bill?
It is going absolutely fantastic.
Well, we're back on a Friday, which some days we have the Friday show, some days we don't.
We
And you know
don't.
what's, and Mike's back from Finland, so we'll have our show
Yes, yeah,
next week. So,
yeah.
um, my question, him, I don't know. Oh, I remember he met with family over there, but they're not from Finland, so they just happened. He has like family working overseas, and they
Okay.
just chose to meet in Finland.
Well,
So
why not?
yeah, I was sitting there thinking,
We're
Herzog might
watching.
be finished. We don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. We're watching right now. My wife and I are watching on Netflix a detective series set in Finland. So,
Oh, that's funny.
yeah.
Are you watching it in English subtitles or Finnish
Oh, yeah. Of
subtitles?
course. No, I speak fluent Finnish. No subtitles.
Yeah. Let's see. All right. So I wanted to start with one of the topics you had on EV World. And could electric vehicle battery waste fix concrete's carbon problem? And,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
I've actually had people pitch to me trying to raise money for a company that was using graphene in concrete to reduce carbon emissions from concrete. And the idea
Okay.
was so I forget what it is. It's a pretty big number. It's like 10% of global
Yeah,
carbon
that's
is from concrete.
Yeah, I think it's like 6%, 6 to 8%, I think, but it could be 10%.
It might have been 10% of the United States.
Yeah.
Okay, because we don't have a lot of we got rid of a lot of our polluting manufacturing and
Right.
shipping
We
overseas, right?
sent it to China. Yeah.
We sent it to China. Now they're the big polluter, and but it was kind of an interesting concept because they were trying to say they could contain or 95% of the carbon emissions from making concrete by incorporating graphene into the concrete mix. And I thought, and it was supposed to also make it, harder and other things.
Right.
You know, that's always a challenge. I don't know if it really would do those things, but
Well,
um,
doesn't most of that come from basically cooking up Portland cement?
it does. It
Yeah,
does.
I
It has
think
something
that's
to
what.
do with the making the Portland cement.
Yeah, yeah. You got to use natural gas to heat the furnaces to cook whatever it is they're cooking there to lime or whatever it is to make the Portland cement. Yeah.
Okay, so here's some of the stats this article gives. Let's see. 60% of vehicles worldwide could be electric, cutting air pollution and noise in cities. Lithium leaves behind extraordinary amounts of waste. In 23, the global battery industry generated 1.8 million tons of lithium related waste, almost all of it sent to landfill. At the same time, the construction sector faces an environmental crisis. Concrete is most widely used man made material on Earth. We produce enough of it to build a wall around the planet twice over.
How big's the wall, I guess?
Yeah. How thick? I mean, it could be like paper thin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Got somebody talking about weed in the chat. I see. Um, let's see. But okay, so it says Portland cement is responsible for nearly 8% of global carbon emissions. I think it's 10 in the US though, but I'm not 100% on that. As demand rises, the industry is running out of cleaner alternatives. Now, one of the ideas is that they could use some of the waste from pulling lithium and using it to trap some of the CO2. Now, the lithium mining waste is rich in silicates, alumina, and
Right.
calcium oxides that help cement harden and gain strength. So the waste from one green tech could help clean up another.
Okay.
Um,
Can you see that? That's spodumene. That's what you get the lithium from. If you look very closely, there's little flecks of green in there.
okay.
That's the lithium that you want. The rest of it is all that silicate. that basically is waste. So you would crush this down, process this to get the lithium out, but then you got all that waste to deal with.
So the idea is to use less cement and concrete. It's not to trap it. They could use the waste as a supplementary binding material.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of cement actually in it by 50%. They'd call it lithocrete.
Okay, sure.
It
wouldn't actually include lithium because that's what you're going to put in the batteries, but it's the residue after you process.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting concept. I just know that what I was looking at with graphene, the idea was it could trap the waste.
It could suck up the CO2.
Yeah, well, it could keep it from, in the process of making the cement, from emitting the emissions and keeping it trapped in there. It's like the idea of pumping carbon down into, abandoned oil wells, right?
Right.
It's just another way of trapping it somewhere else, right? And it is the idea. All right, let's get on to our stories for today. U.S. grid storage industry crushes 25 goals, now exceeds 40 gigawatts. I was thinking we have almost 27 gigawatts just in California. So most of that must have went into California. But that's 40 gigawatts for the whole U.S. in grid storage. The goal was to get 35 gigawatts this year, and they've already done 40 gigawatts with a month remaining. Battery costs have plummeted, making grid storage economically viable and transforming the electric grid's reliability. In 8 years, it's gone from experimental to mainstream infrastructure, now providing critical backup power and enabling higher renewable penetration.
Yeah, I was participating in a webinar last night put on by the University of Nebraska talking about agrivoltaics, and that's where you combine agriculture, whatever that, whether it's growing crops or grazing sheep or whatever, and solar. And it turns out apparently that we've got 10 pure agrivoltaic systems proposed in the state, and 6 of them are considered hybrid. And what they mean by hybrid is that they include battery storage. And I think we actually have already one facility here in Nebraska that has the battery storage associated with it. So even out here in the great flyover state, we're still, we're plugging away.
Do people really fly over Nebraska?
I tell you what, when I walk out here and I look at all the contrails going east and west, there's an awful lot of them that fly over.
They fly by, they don't even wave.
Yeah, don't even bother to wave. Hey, but we love it here, folks.
Yeah.
You have to be tough to live here.
So Tesla has launched a cheaper version of the Model 3 in Europe.
I hadn't seen that one yet.
Yeah, Tesla's launched a lower price version. This is just news today of its Model 3 in Europe in a push to revive sales. Let's see, the new Model 3 Standard is listed at about 38,000 euros in Germany.
Oh, pretty expensive, yeah.
Yeah, it's down to 330,000 Norwegian kroners.
Oh, well, I'll just dig into my Oslo bank account.
About 450,000 Swedish kroners. Yeah. It was funny as the article that I've got, it actually converts it all into pounds.
Well, so sure, because it's probably an English publication, right? Yeah.
It's the Guardian. Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But it's just funny.
I actually like the Guardian. I think they do a pretty good job.
Yeah. So the cheaper Model 3 and Model Y cars drop some premium finishes and features the more expensive versions, but still offer driving ranges above 300 miles. Tesla sales have slumped because of increasingly tough competition, and especially from like BYD, which outsold Tesla in Europe for the first time in this past spring. Let's see. It doesn't give real specific information on how much that price drop was. Just the fact. Well, I guess it's not really a price drop because it's a new model,
New
right?
model with fewer luxury features than a more
Yeah.
baseline model. Yeah.
Um, it's called the Tesla Model 3 Broke People's Edition.
Okay.
No, it's not. But it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
probably doesn't have a great marketing
Well,
ring to it.
hey, affordability is the buzzword today, so it's a more affordable
Yeah, you
Tesla.
know, um, I that term gets affordable gets thrown out
Oh
a
yeah.
lot. I was
Oh
talking with
yeah.
somebody about somebody having a reputation for affordable quality. I can't say who it is, but it's somebody I'm negotiating a contract with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
and anyways, but when I was doing a lot of stuff in construction, people always talk about let's make affordable housing. And I go, the problem is you make the affordable housing, and you think you have an affordable price that but that's not market price, and
Yeah,
people will pay.
affordable's relative. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you think you're building a property to sell for 200,000, but in reality, when it's built, there's people willing to give you $280,000 for the same property because that's market.
Right.
It's really hard to just say no. I'm just going to sell it for 200,000.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really, this is one of the problems. People say, well, there's a lack of affordable housing. Well, the thing is, when you build something at the low end, there's somebody
We'll buy
who
it for more.
there's somebody who can afford it.
Afford it more. Yeah.
It's afforded housing. Okay, it's not maybe affordable, but that's kind of one of the things. Is like people always say, well, housing prices are out of control, but the houses are still selling. And it's amazing how many houses in the United States sell for cash. I mean, a lot of houses.
Mm.
I think half of U.S. houses have no mortgage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really big number, much bigger than what one would think. Now, obviously, the newer the property, the more likely it has.
Right. Before we get too far off the topic of the Tesla, and during my meeting this morning with some power company executives, they mentioned that Tesla is allowing, I think it's a motel chain in Grand Island, Nebraska. We don't have Tesla dealerships here in Nebraska. The state law does not allow, if you're going to sell it, has to be through a licensed dealer. So the way apparently we're getting around that is that there is a motel chain in Grand Island, which is kind of in the middle of the state, that is allowing people to test drive Teslas. And I don't know if you have to be a customer that stays there, but apparently they've got several Teslas in the parking lot that you can take out for a test drive. I don't know all the, you got to have a driver's license and it's so much, per, I don't know those details, but apparently that's one way they're getting around it is just make them available at the local motel chain.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Well, who knows? I mean, you look at Tesla's got the service center over in Iowa.
Right.
And
across the river, so it's not that far away from here. So,
but I when in Florida, when I've gone and test drove cars, they've been in the Tesla locations have been in shopping malls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, why wouldn't that be a licensed dealer? I don't know. Maybe being a dealer brings on different connotations. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, those are Tesla owned facilities that they're obviously leasing the space inside the shopping center for.
Yeah, well, there's some reason they don't do it in Nebraska, right? So
yeah, no, they just they don't have enough sales. If you want to buy one, from all I know is that basically most of the people around here go down to Kansas City and pick them up there's a dealership down in Kansas City apparently.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, it's interesting that they're bringing these lower priced models to market to try to get back into things. I got a few Tesla articles, or I should say, Tesla Elon type articles today.
Why not?
Yeah, Elon Musk claims Tesla full self-driving now allows
ta-da! Drum
texting
roll
while driving. texting and driving, which I find kind of fascinating. One of my
Yeah, but does the state motor vehicle laws allow it?
Yeah, well, that's kind of the discussion here. So Musk confirmed that the latest FSD supervised allows drivers to text based on traffic conditions, though this remains illegal in most states. Legal experts warn this creates liability issues as texting while driving is prohibited regardless of driver assistance features. Highlights a growing tension between autonomous driving capabilities and existing traffic laws. What's I find kind of fascinating about this is I have a friend who owns a number of Teslas, okay, and they have a Model X with over 200,000 miles on it, okay, and they use this Model X for highway driving, okay, for
Okay.
taking road trips. They live in Florida. They've gone all up and down the East Coast, over all the way like to Dallas and different things.
Right.
And they regularly drive, but their version, they can drive it and they can like read a book going down the road because it's one of the original Model X's. Okay.
Okay.
They have a new Model Y, and the wife was complaining to me that she has to always be looking forward, whereas the other one, they could do other things
Yeah.
while they were driving because the Tesla has served them really well. Now, they have had accidents in their Teslas, but they've never been at fault.
Oh,
So
okay.
they have had people nail them in the
Yeah.
intersections, things like that, but it was never an issue with the car itself.
Right.
Yeah, they've got a Y, an X, a 3, an S. They got the whole sexy combo. Yeah. But they don't have a truck though.
Well, if they had a Royal Flush, then they would have a either the truck or they'd have an original Roadster.
Yeah. Or a semi.
No, yeah, okay, yeah. Well, I don't know what you'd do with a semi, but
You tow things, of course.
tow things right, or just put it out to lease and let it earn some revenue for you.
There you go. But anyways, yeah, I saw that. It's like Tesla now allows texting while driving to run the full self-driving.
Please just consult your local laws, folks,
Yeah.
before you do that.
Yeah. Don't text. Don't let texting interrupt your nap. Yeah.
Which for me is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So
There you go. All right. The next Tesla story. This is from just a few hours ago. Elon Musk announced Tesla will challenge Nvidia and AMD in AI chips.
yeah.
This is kind of interesting. So Musk has announced Tesla aims to produce more AI chips than all competitors combined, marking major expansion beyond vehicles. Represents a strategic pivot, positioning Tesla as an AI infrastructure company, not just an automaker. Can significantly impact Tesla's valuation and competitive positioning in autonomous driving development. Now, you notice our stock ticker isn't working today. It's because
I noticed.
our channel editor is on a train right now.
Oh, okay. In India, by the way, folks.
Yes, he's on a train, with all the people hanging off the side of it. And all the
Yeah.
No, I doubt that. But
Yeah.
it's
So where's Yogi off today to?
I think he probably told me, but I'm just going to get nothing's close in India. So, I think that's a bit of a challenge. Well, he says he's going home. I forget where home is. So, anyways.
I forget where is he? Where is he normally?
Gujarat or something like that.
Okay.
I'm not 100%. I know he's in a city that used to be called Allahabad, and it's not called that anymore. And but he went to the University of Allahabad.
Okay, sounds like up what's in the Northwest then. I'll have to
go. I'd call it kind of middle of the country.
Oh, okay.
But not exactly. It's all right. It's
for our
it's a big country.
For our Indian viewers, if we have any, and I hope we do, please excuse our At least my personal, I kind of know where Mumbai is, and I kind of know where Delhi is, but that's in the Kerala region kind of India. But boy, beyond that, sorry, folks.
Well, Bill doesn't have any relatives from India, so he's not like
No,
me that has an
that's
Indian uncle.
not that I'm aware of.
Yes. And I have some I have Indian cousins. I was looking, one day at my 23andMe, report, and I've got like Indian cousins that live in London and stuff like
Oh,
that. And it's
interesting.
really
Okay.
weird. I'm still trying to figure out the math on some of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. Most Indians are impressed because any knowledge of Indian geography is above 99% of people. So
Yeah.
most people don't.
Well, I know how the country's shaped.
Yeah, having one of my friends in the Indian government doesn't hurt either.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Considering
Right.
he's lived 40, at least, well, let's say at least a third of his life in Omaha.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny that he's over there doing government things. But anyways, I find this thing for Tesla to be competing in the AI chip world to be quite fascinating to see.
So I gather, of course, they've got, obviously they have a lot of engineers with a lot of expertise in that area. So it seem to me it would make sense to, try to get into rather than just the programming side, get into the manufacturing side of it. I mean, they build their most of those boards anyway in the car.
Yeah, right. They manufacture a lot of it. They're at $454 today. They're up about 7% in the past week. That's pretty decent. Bitcoin's been ripping, so
which way?
Yeah, it's always a question. And I was going to say, so yesterday doing because I post nuclear news on LinkedIn, and as far as some stocks that I follow, and Oklo ripped yesterday for 15% upwards.
Wow.
So I had said when they were at about 160, they were going to drop to 85. They dropped to I think 86. I was really close. Now they're at 106.
Wow.
Bounce off that. But then today they're down 5% today after being up 15% yesterday. They announced they're going to sell 1.5 billion more stock into the marketplace to raise some money. And so that's driving the stock price down today because people are getting diluted.
Yep.
That's kind of the nature of things in the technology space. Let's see where BTC is today. BTC's down today. It's at 89,000, but
it was at 84 at one point, wasn't it? I think just a few days ago it was 84. Yeah.
On the first, so 4 days ago. Yeah, let me see.
Solano's gone crazy. Up by what was it, 117 or something like that? Or I forget now, but it's significant.
Let me see. It's at 132. Let's see. For the past month, it's down about 15%.
That's kind of general trend with what's been happening with most.
Yeah. The thing is, a lot of the stuff, when you compare to the dollar, it's tough because a lot of crypto tracks with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Right.
Yeah, it does.
But sometimes if you were only comparing them to Bitcoin, you'd see there's not a whole lot of fluctuation in some of these things, right? And so a lot of them tracked like
very close,
super close to what the other ones go for. Anyways, but let's see. We talked about this one a little bit because it came, but I get it. What'll happen is we'll see the news one day, then everybody else will report it 2 or 3 days later. China's EV market hits historic 50+% in electrified vehicle sales. We covered this one on Tuesday. A mix of battery electric, plug-in hybrid, and other hybrids hit over 50%. Oh, no, it's just plug-in and battery electric. So hit 50%. China continues adding more solar and wind to its grid than any other economy, supporting EV charging infrastructure. This came out of Auto Week. And I'm like, people act like EVs are what are sucking up all of the energy.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
I had coffee on this with utility company executives this morning. Oh, no. It's
no,
not the EVs, folks.
no,
They only represent 1% of the power that's consumed on our local grid. 1%. It ain't that.
no. It's funny how much people overblow, um, electric vehicle charging.
Yeah, she did. The executive did make a point because I was saying, well, I went and plugged the car in a little before, a little after dinner. And she said, oh, don't do that. Please plug it in after 11 at night.
Yeah. Yeah. That's when everybody should be charging, right?
Right, exactly.
But so many of the people who claim that the grid can't handle EVs have this expectation that if 100 million EVs were on the road in the United States, they'd all go plug in at exactly 4 p.m. and all be charging at the same time. Well, that would be a problem, but there are, only so many of them are going to charge more than once a week.
Right.
And it's just, yeah, data storage, crypto mining, AI. I mean, AI is using so much energy. It's nuts. And then, we look at manufacturing, different things. So anyways, we'll go on to my next topic, which this is BYD.
Can't we talk about sativa indica?
Yeah, you can't
no
get that in
idea
Nebraska.
what AG Sue is talking about, but I do know.
That's a flavor of weed. That's a
yes,
flavor
I
of
know,
weed.
I know. But although I will tell you, I have never smoked or inhaled or used in any form, whether it be gummies or otherwise, any marijuana. So I'm a good boy that way.
You and Bill Clinton.
Yep.
Let's see. BYD commercial EV sales surged 213% in 25. Now, this is these aren't huge numbers. They jumped from 16,400 to 51,400, which is a 213% increase. Of course, I don't know exactly what all these commercial vehicles might be, but they do make big trucks, panel vans.
Yeah, there's a photograph. Yeah, there's a photograph to an article I linked to, and I don't remember which one it was now, that shows the lineup of all the heavy-duty vehicles that they manufacture, and it is a boatload of different vehicles that the company turns out. I always thought, well, they do buses. Oh no, they do a lot more than buses.
Let's see if I can make this a little bigger.
Yeah, there it is. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we got the classic dump truck here in the middle, cement mixer. We got what looks like probably various types of shuttle buses.
Yeah, and it's probably trash trucks, I imagine, are in there somewhere.
Yeah. They show 9 different flavors of buses.
Yeah.
So they got 9 different models.
Quite literally flavors.
Yep. And then you got the little delivery van, and then you got back here in the back row, you got all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or you got 5 different delivery vehicles here on the right. Cement, dump truck. One of these is this is a fuel tanker. I don't know what this one is, but you've got different types of commercial applications here.
Yeah.
7 conventional types of vehicle, 4 specialized types of vehicles. That's 11 different ones they've got going. That's pretty good little range.
And they are, of course, launching and building a facility in Brazil. And they just announced that their plug-in hybrid, it will be flex-fueled engine, so they will be able to burn regular petroleum, gasoline in it, as well as ethanol. And of course, then there's the battery electric. So that's designed for the Brazilian market, which has a lot of ethanol production from the I think they call it bagasse, the residue that they create out of sugar cane. So,
if you've seen the movie Office, but I think that's the one where they take the copier out in the field and they destroy it with a baseball bat. Not 100%.
You sound like the jump to conclusions inventor guy. Which one, me or?
Yeah, he's gonna have to clarify there.
Clarify.
Yeah. All right. U.S. EV sales plunge 50% after the tax credit ends, but recovery expected. New EV sales have dropped 50%. Used EVs down 20% following congressional repeal of the $7,500 federal tax credit. Despite the short-term crash, analysts predict recovery as battery prices continue falling and more affordable models launch. EVs still represent 8% of U.S. sales, which is up from 2.3% 5 years ago, with state incentives partially filling the gap. We saw this in Germany a couple of years ago, right? Germany dropped all of their subsidies for EVs, and they took a hit for about a quarter, right? They had one bad quarter, and then they kind of levelized back to where they'd been, and then now they're up like 30-40% above what they were with the incentives. So, it took a while, though. I think it took almost a year and a half or so for it to jump back.
Yeah, it might take a little bit longer here, given the retrogressive administration that's in office right now. So they just passed the weakening of the fuel standards and emission standards for the American automobile industry to cut the price of cars, which allows you to pay more for more gasoline because they aren't as efficient. So,
Well, we'll see where that goes. I mean, that can only go so far. I understand the idea of having the economy chugging along, but at the same time, I think we got to get rid of pollution and things like that. And there's no question that cars are big polluters. So, we'll see. Eventually, like we've always talked about, the economics of EVs are going to prevail.
It will. Can't help it.
Yeah. So that's going to change.
I shouldn't say can't help it. We can always help it. Can't prevent it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's just a matter of time. But who knows how quickly that greater transition will be. All right. According to the Rockefeller Foundation, nuclear could deliver 30% of emerging economic power. New report examines how next-gen nuclear, SMRs, and advanced reactors can help emerging economies meet rising electricity demand. Nuclear positioned as a complement to intermittent renewables, providing clean baseload power for EV charging and industrial electrification. Once again, it's like we don't really need all that energy for EV charging. Now, I guess we could if it was like I've had somebody talk to me about autonomous trucking infrastructure. That's going to take some real juice. When you start talking about having tractor trailers needing gigawatt plus strength chargers,
right? And operating, those things only make money when they drive, right? It's not like a personal automobile where basically it's just to get you from A to B, right? Every day, maybe from home to the office and back. These things got to be on the road operating. The more they're like an airplane, an airliner. The only way they make money is keep them in the air. In this case, keep them on the road. So yeah, that's a much bigger challenge than plugging in your car in the evening and getting it charged up overnight.
Yeah, and I have to save that article because it's It's actually what my TED talk would be about.
Okay.
So, anyways, it's interesting to see though. Um, there's this chicken and the egg problem with providing the reactors, right? So, just because somebody's poor and needs access to energy doesn't mean anybody really wants to put a reactor there, right? I need
Right.
somebody to be able to write it.
Or can afford it.
Well, but see, this is the thing. Once the reactor's there, an industry comes around to create jobs
Right.
around the
It
energy.
attracts them. Yeah.
Then the people have money and they can afford to have electricity. But
Yeah.
you really have to have a manufacturer committed to go into a place where there's currently no power, with the intention of somebody like me wanting to bring in a source of power into that area. And it's a challenge. And that's all of the projects I'm working on are basically that situation. There's a lack of power someplace, but somebody wants to put in manufacturing at that location. And so that's why they're talking to us. So
Right.
we're talking about doing waste to energy, and then eventually to nuclear down the line. But it's interesting to just look at that process, because without the manufacturing there's no real interest. And in any part of the supply chain and being involved in something without somebody substantial being
Yeah.
the end customer. Anyways, Rivian reports its first ever quarterly profit, a gross profit. They had
Oh God, how did
a
I miss
quarterly
that?
gross profit of 24 million in quarter three, beating expectations. Analysts are increasingly bullish on Rivian, positioned as a no-brainer EV stock following Tesla's path to profitability. Lower cost R2 and R3 models set to launch, expanding market reach beyond luxury segment. Let's just see what that Rivian price is looking like today. Rivian.
Yeah, it was about 17 and a half, something like that, a couple days ago.
It's at 1840.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, it's up almost 2% today. Yeah, so
I bought a few shares for $10. So yeah, I'm happy about that.
it's up about 20% in the past month. That's a big change.
That's big. Great.
Yeah.
Keep
Wow.
going, RJ.
Man, he's been going at this since 2009. I mean, that's when he started Rivian.
Yep.
That's a long time to be getting to where they're at. They employ 15,000 people. I mean, it's fascinating to see that kind of growth out of that company. Anyways, we talked already about Lucid. There's more news coming out about Lucid being named the best luxury EV brand, beating out Tesla and Porsche and BMW and Rivian. We've kind of touched on this before. And let me see. My last article I've got for today: grid scale battery storage economics transform the power sector. We talked a little bit about battery storage at the start of the show. Battery storage costs have dropped so dramatically that utilities are now using them for frequency regulation, peak shaving, and renewable firming. Last December, the U.S. got 40+% of electricity from solar and wind, up from 19% 5 years ago, only possible with storage buffering intermittency. So in the month of December last year, the U.S. got 40% of electricity from solar and wind. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, the other day we had a really crazy blowing. It was like 27, 30 miles an hour steady with gusts. And at that point, when I looked on the Southwest Power Grid dashboard, we were up to 62% of our power during that time frame was coming from the wind.
Yeah, that's always pretty cool how that works. And that, it gets windy outside. We stop having to burn coal.
Oh yeah, it's great.
I'll tell you though, as a tennis player and as somebody who likes to be able to go outside and not freeze to death from the wind chill.
Yeah. Well, that's another issue. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I just go to walk my dogs and I'm dying because the wind's blowing so hard. But Yeah, it's cold here. Well, actually, no, it's 35 and sunny out right now.
Oh no, it's beautiful out. Yeah, I was surprised.
Um,
Yeah, the other morning when I got up, it was 0.
Yeah. Anyways, that's all I got for today.
Sounds good.
We still went 40 minutes.
Yeah, everybody have a great weekend. And Dave and I will be back here, God willing,
Tuesday.
the creek don't rise on Tuesday.
There we go. All right, everyone. Have a great day.